I'm very lucky to have you.
Thanks. Claudia Joy, we're the lucky ones. We've always relied on you. It's been your strength that kept us together. But I know you, Claudia Joy, you're not very good at letting other people be there for you. So, if you can, just let us help you now.
Powerful performances and riveting storylines have made Army Wives the highest rating show in Lifetime television history. So we're glad to welcome Catherine Bell and Kim Delaney. So, congratulations, by the way. Season 2 was the highest rated show in Lifetime's history.
It's amazing.
Most watched. I mean, what was your reaction to that? It had to be
35 million.
Incredible.
Viewers?
Yeah, 35 million.
Wow.
Wow.
Was it? No.
I don't think it was that much, but we'll take it.
Great.
We'll take it. It's been a lot.
Thrilled. Are you kidding? We love being on the show and to have people respond. It's,
Maybe it was
great.
3.5. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, 4.5.
35.
4.5. Actually, so it's a lot.
It's a lot.
Yeah. It's a
No,
lot.
it is,
So
isn't it?
we're-
I could see
You know,
why.
we go down into Charleston. We're shooting, you know, in this beautiful city. And,
Beautiful, gorgeous city.
And then the audience loves it, which is so great. Thank you guys so
No,
much.
I mean, well, there's reason why. There's great reason why, because I think that you're really portraying the emotion and the heartbreak and the backstory behind what's going on.
We have amazing writers.
And you have a lot of pressure on you. I know that you've actually run into real Army wives who have had some messages for you, correct?
Definitely.
What did they say when you talked to them?
God, mostly it's they're happy that we're showing their side and all that stuff. The one I think that you're maybe thinking about is what I told you was I was on an elevator at the Mills house down in Charleston, and this woman comes up to me. Well, we're just on the elevator, so we're standing there, and she goes, my daughter's married to a military guy, and they have a little 2-year-old, and I love the show. Get it right. And I was like,
Yeah.
Was she accusing you of getting it wrong, or just make sure?
Just make sure.
And lay down the pressure.
Very demure, very demure, and then was like, get it right.
She's turned.
Well, I'm sure they do feel that way, and I think you're doing it. Well, I think the great thing about the show is,
we're doing our best.
well, you capture all the different aspects. Not every woman has the same story. Not
Right.
every spouse is the same thing going on. So I think you
All
cover.
our characters are so different too,
You
which is
cover all
nice.
the bases.
It's very real and honest, like I was saying to you. It hits your heart every single week. Like the finale was so intense because there was a soldier that came into a bar that you were all at, and he had explosives strapped to his body, and it blew up. Now, we didn't know what happened. Then it came back. We found out that your character's daughter had died, and she was a big major part in the show.
She was. Kim Allen is amazing, and she was so great working. The best thing, nobody wanted to lose her at all. But the good thing for her was it's not a show about going to college, and she was going to college, so her storyline was kind of wrapped up. And they didn't want to cheat the audience and with a bomb and not have anything happen. So I think they were really smart about how they handled it, and she has great film to go and show other people. And it's not a show about her going to college. It's a show
And it
about
was
Army
such a
wives.
bold move too for the writers to kill off such an important character, such a heartbreaking
And it opens us up
storyline.
for season
I
2,
love
which
that they
you've
did that.
seen, and so
This
it's.
show was not done originally, or even now, with the consultation with the Army or with
Well, now
the
it
parents.
is.
It is now. We
But
were
this
not.
is what, the first year, they were not very cooperative. And you can understand why, because even though it's about the wives, and in some cases the husbands, there are still scenes in Iraq of the soldiers and their grief and the heat, and their praying that they'll come back and so forth. So last year, they were not cooperative. This year, they are, even though it's still showing Iraq as a pretty ghastly place to be. What made the difference?
I think watching the first season made the difference. I think that they saw that we were incredibly respectful of the military. We weren't taking a side either way. Not political at all. And I think that they saw and they wanted to help us get it as right as we could and still do entertainment.
But it's hard to watch the show and the wives and the families without realizing
it's devastating.
You know how
Absolutely
devastating this war is. So
Right.
it does have a point of view.
Excuse me, I'm sorry, Catherine. I wanted to ask you about your character, Denise. This was very interesting. She is she played a very timid.
Catherine's
woman.
not timid.
No, you're not at all. You're so much. You jump out of planes and climb mountains and
Motorcycle riding and car racing.
Yeah, this was very different from you because your character, Denise, is very timid. You were also going through something where your son was physically abusing you.
Right, at the beginning of last season, yeah.
So now it's shifted a little bit
Right.
with this coming season.
Yes, definitely. Well, one of the reasons I took the part of it, I wanted to do something completely different than Jag, and I got it, because she's, completely the opposite of that character. And I wanted to make sure that she went through that transformation. It was important to me to not just play someone who was weak and couldn't stand up for herself. I wanted to see a woman go through a change and stand up to her son and her husband.
But tell us about your experience in Japan when the guy was groping you, because that tells everything about Catherine.
Exactly, and it's something that Denise would not do.
Yeah.
Well, I had an experience in an elevator. I was going up to my apartment that was in this high rise. So in the elevator, again, it was raining outside. I get in, and a Japanese man gets in, and the doors close, and we each push our button, and his was before mine. So the doors open, and he doesn't get out. Now I'm thinking, this doesn't seem right. So the doors close, and he reaches over, and he grabs one of my breasts.
What? Very subtle.
Yeah, real subtle, kind of like honk. I mean, my instinct just kicked in, and I backhanded him. I mean, I just smacked him and knocked him over.
Yeah.
And he, thank you. He freaked out. I mean, he grabbed his umbrella because it was raining, so he grabs his umbrella, and he was like, going to hit me. And I grabbed the umbrella, and I smacked him.
That's what I'm talking about. I like that.
And at that point, he freaked out, and he started pushing the buttons to just get out of the elevator. And I went, get out of here.
We're finally to exit on.
So that's Catherine.
You are
It's
tough
not
ladies.
Denise.
We like it. I love that story. Congratulations on the success of the show. You are a tough woman playing women in a tough position, and we appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for your work. Army Wives airs Sunday nights on Lifetime, and everyone in the audience is taking home the DVD of the first season, so you can